Hey guys, so as you may know, Mario Kart World is nearly here. We have less than 1 month to go, which is just wild. So, I thought that it would be fun to take a look at the original versions of the returning retro tracks and rank them based on how good they are, and how excited I am to see them back again on the Nintendo Switch 2. So, let's begin. Starting off, we have SNES Mario Circuit 1. This track is iconic, but being the first track of the whole series means that it's pretty simplistic and not that entertaining. However, they've spiced it up by combining the first 3 SNES Mario Circuits together, with SNES Mario Circuit 1 being the first lap. So that's quite cool. But Mario Circuit 1 will probably be the lamest part of it. Although, while we're doing about this, where is Mario Circuit 4? It's the only one that's not come back as a retro track yet, and it's missing here, so that's just weird. Overall, it does look pretty cool what they've done with this, but there's 2 parts of this track that I'm looking forward to, even more than Mario Circuit 1. I've never really been a lover of GCN Peach Beach. I don't know, I've always found it to be kind of just meh. The Catocrats are cool, and I love the look of the new section that they've added. Maybe World can change my opinion on Peach Beach with its new version. Now, I'm a big Mario Kart DS fan. However, DS Desert Hills has never really been a favourite of mine. Like, sure, it does what it promises. Like, there's a desert, there's certainly hills in the desert, etc. But its execution is just lame. The Angry Sun is cool though. Well, no, the Angry Sun is hot. Please don't take that out of context, by the way. Also, I'm a big Super Mario Land enjoyer. Seeing that they've added Batadon and Toko Toko to the track gives me hope that this track may be more unique and memorable in World. N64 Wario Stadium is a track that deserves to be in this game, more than most, having made its debut in Mario Kart 64 a whopping 29 years ago, and not showing its face again until now. Its appearance in Mario Kart World also means that every Mario Kart 64 track has been remade. However, it's just so low, because the original was just so boring. It's way too long, and all of it is literally just mud and jumps. The new paths for rail grinding and wall riding that they've added totally makes up for it this time. With Sky Garden, they literally just took from the original and added nothing new, which is not the case with Wario Stadium. I'm actually really looking forward to this one. Besides Peach Beach, the only other GCN track we have is Dino Jungle. It's not my favourite, but the theming is cool. However, the new Jurassic Park-like theming is so cool. This is what I expect a good retro track to do. Keep it similar, whilst also keeping it fresh. This track does look great, although we better be able to trick off the dinosaur's face like in Tour. The third SNES Mario Circuit is the one I'm second most hyped for. I like this track. It's also a pretty fun track to drive, and also being the first track ever made for Super Mario Kart means it deserves to come back again. Also, we have evidence of someone playing just Mario Circuit 3 and not the other 2 in Versus mode, so that's nice to know that we can play whichever one we want to. I love Koopa Beach too, and I love the new party aesthetic it has now. However, there are some things I need to talk about. The fact that it's titled Koopa Troopa Beach, and Koopa Beach 1 literally being right next to it as a free roam track, would imply that it's a combined track, just like SNES Mario Circuit. However, that doesn't seem to be the case, which just baffles me, because 1, why can't they just name the track like its actual name? Like in Tour it's called Koopa Troopa Beach 2, and now it's just Koopa Troopa Beach, like the N64 track. What did the name at Koopa Troopa Beach 2 ever do to hurt you, Nintendo? And 2, Koopa Beach 1 has yet to come back as a retro track outside of an extra track in Super Circuit, and this would have been such a great way to bring it back. However, this is still one of my favourite SNES tracks, so I can't complain too much. And I'm sure maybe with the Mario Circuit 3 thing I mentioned before, we might be able to play Koopa Beach 1 as just a regular track in Versus mode anyway, so who knows. 3DS Guy Bazar is back yet again, and this version looks just as great as the other 2. I love the new Daisy theming, and I think her castle looks great. Although, seeing this track at daytime catches me off guard every time, but I'll get used to it. There's not much more to say really, I'm excited for this one. I see people complaining about Mim Meadows returning so soon, but I disagree. It's literally been 11 years since the last time this track actually got a new iteration, and most of the other tracks in this game have come back again since. Also, we have a playable cow now, so this track is a necessity, and it's just a simple fun track anyway, so I can't be mad that it's back. But why in Holy Linda's name is it in the Lightning Cup? why? I never thought that, like, this would ever be the case, but this game is weird and anything goes, I guess. So, Mim Meadows in the Lightning Cup. Why not? Speaking of tracks that have returned sooner than Mim Meadows, we have 3DS Wario Shipyard. This track was everywhere in 2022 era Mario Kart Tour, like to the point where I would dread having to play it again. I suppose this is how people who have never played Tour and only play 8 feel with having Mim Meadows for so long, but I don't mind as this new version of Wario Shipyard looks so different, with the underwater sections completely changed to fit the new boating mechanic. Also, it does look stunning, so that's a positive. I can't wait to play this one as well. It's going to be really interesting to see how it feels with the new boat controls. I love SNES Mirror Circuit 2. Do you want to know why? It has a big jump. It's so cool. That's all I need to say. Yeah. Okay, here's a disclaimer. Because some of you will feel that Sky High Sunday is an 8 Deluxe track, or made for both games, and not a tour track. That's fine, I'm not going to kill you. But personally, I believe it's a tour track, because come on, is this mess of mobile game geometry really a track made for the realistic game that is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? But regardless, I'll be treating it as a tour track, so there you go. If you have any other opinions on that, you can comment down below. Explain. I will bombard you with reasons why I think you're wrong, but yeah, it's okay, discussion is fun. Although, if you call it a world track, because ever since I wrote the script for this, we found out that Mario Kart World has been in development for years and years, even like at the same time as Tour, so some people I've seen call Sky High Sunday a world original track, so I don't know, I don't really feel like that's the case, especially considering it's how it's like shoehorned onto the map, like at the very edge. I think it was definitely added like halfway through development, but anyway, that's not the point. Now, why is this the only tour track in the game? Where is Piranha Pump Pipeline? Like, that was the one track that had to return in this game. And they chose Sky High Sunday. Otherwise, I love what they've done with this track. The new tech of Mario Kart World looks to make this track really interesting. So I'm actually really excited for this one. I know it's going to be really fun with all the new, because it's had the rails forever, and the rails have just been, there was spin boost pillars in 8 for some reason. I don't get why. But yeah, now we'll be able to rail grind on them, and that's just really cool. I really hope we do get Tour Piranha Pump Pipeline as DLC though, because this track deserves to come back more than any other retro in this game. I can't believe I spent so long writing about Sky High Sunday. Like, of all the tracks returning in this game, and I spent ages talking about Sky High Sunday. Anyway, on to the next one. N64 Choco Mountain is back again, for the 3rd time this decade actually. This track has always been a particular standout of the Mario Kart 64 tracks to me. I just love the vibe it has. However, this track is thematically dissimilar to its previous appearances. It's been industrialised now. I still don't know how I feel about it, but hey, if I want to play a more traditional version of Choco Mountain on the Nintendo Switch 2, I'll just play the 8 Deluxe version. It feels like we've been waiting for years for a remake of Wii Toad's Factory, and that's because we have. It's been 17 years since Mario Kart Wii came out, which is almost the length of my whole life, so it's long overdue. It doesn't look like much has changed besides a few new paths being added, and honestly, it's for the best. I cannot wait for this one, it's going to be so good. I absolutely adore Airship Fortress. It's one of the greatest tracks in the series, and I love the theme, it's so unique. And we have Rocky Wrench as a driver now, so that makes it even better. I couldn't fault this track, even if I tried. That being said, why is it in the Flower Cup? This game's track, layout is just so weird. It just doesn't feel like a Flower Cup track, but it's in the Flower Cup, so I don't mind, as long as we've got the track in the game. But there's one track that does beat this track for me, by very little, but it's one that I've loved forever. This track has been one of my absolute favourites. The theming, the colours, the snowmen, the crazy item box, all of it. It's a very personal track to me, and in my opinion, I think it's way better than people give it credit for, because they think it's going to be like this amazing DK track, when in reality, it's just a fun little snow track. And there's Tranquil Mountain, and it's so peaceful, the vibe of it is great. In fact, it was this track that actually sold me on the idea of Mario Kart Tour when the trailer dropped in August 2019. I wasn't too sure about everything until I saw DK Pass and I was absolutely hyped. And then things happened, and then I just became a massive fan of it. So I'm very excited to see it back in World, and it's the first track of the startup, which is absolutely perfect. Most people know me for being a fan of Vancouver Velocity, however the truth is I love DK Pass pretty much just as much. I don't have like a set group of my favourite Mario Kart tracks. There's just a select few that are pretty much on the same level, and DK Pass, Vancouver Velocity are two of them, and Airship Fortress actually. So that's my ranking of the original versions of the retro tracks of Mario Kart World. That was a lot of ofs. Whilst there is still some heavy hitters here, some of the choices, like Peach Beach, aren't as great. Nonetheless, I am so excited for this game. It's going to be so good. I'll definitely give you a video of ranking my favourite retro tracks and favourite nitro tracks from the game when it comes out, because I should be getting it on day one. But now I finish with a message directly to Nintendo. Where is Piranha Plant Pipeline?